Oh. 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 Typically when we want to be open and vulnerable, we don't cross our arms. But sometimes we feel so raw and vulnerable that we have to close our arms, because our arms are like the last defense against the people in front of us. It's the shield. And when the people in front of you are in fact the whole world, and all you have is your arms, and you gotta make good use of them to block the world. But that's what's kind of crazy, actually. When you're raw and vulnerable and wanting to connect, because the rawness and the vulnerability is just too much. But then you put the arms up. So you're like, I want you to cuddle me, but I don't want you to cuddle me. My brother told me that cuddling is the new coddling. And that if I were to get on Facebook Live and ask people to cuddle me, I would be asking them to coddle me. My predicament is that I don't know how to access my emotions. So I'm actually a hot mess, because I can't even feel. I'm just here, lifeless, like a slab of obsidian. Absurd obsidian. Yes, a lot of people have my problem. You know, I mean, I don't tell him this, but he's a bit of a fuck up. He's a bit of a fuck up. He doesn't, well, you know. Yeah, I'm worried about him. A grown man is on Facebook asking to be cuddled. Yeah, I told him that cuddling is the new coddling. Yeah, that's about right. What is he doing on Facebook asking people to cuddle him? Where did this cuddle culture come from? Huh? I don't know. You know, I think it's a lot of people just have a lot of time on their hands, and they get wounded really quick, and they are spoiled, and they just need to cuddle. They're not engaged in anything important. They don't have any real aspirations in life, you know? Yeah, I think that's right. He doesn't have any aspirations. He's just a whole bundle of feeling. That's where they get it wrong. You know, there are people who have so many emotions that they can't even access them. They're forever hermetically sealed. And they have so many responses to things that they live their entire life anesthetized to their own sensitivity. They try to keep everything in the dark, in the basement, in the side attics, in the attics, up there. And we don't have a place for these people in our society, so they spend their whole lives just trying to manage their emotions by not having emotions, manage their feelings by not having them. They don't achieve anything. They can't. Or their achievement is simply getting through life as best they can. So when I found out about this new cuddle thing, you know, despite what my brother had to say about, both of those brothers had to say about the coddling, I just figured I'd put it out there to be cuddled. And the crazy thing is that, like, my younger brother is sending me emails that, well, that he's actually going to disown me if I ask for cuddles on Facebook. So he's talking to my older brother. They're like, I'm in the crossfire of these emails. They're really talking to each other, but I'm being CC'd. He should probably just see a psychiatrist, you know, and get him some medication. I think that's a little strong, man. He's a brother, and if you give him medication, I think that's just gonna affect everybody, really, you know? And everybody's gonna get their opinions on his drug use and rehab and all that stuff. I think we gotta work with him straight on, you know? A man in his 40s who wants to be cuddled. He's obviously got some problems that, maybe they came from the way that we were raised, but I don't think drugs are gonna do it. Okay. Well, you want to be the one who talks to him? I don't know. I mean, I don't think email's really gonna help, but he's too far away to sit down and have a talk. There's gotta be something that, someone his age, like, why, after all these years, is he just putting out this life raft on Facebook about being cuddled? I mean, who does that? Right. My little brother does that. See, I'm not asking for my brothers to cuddle me, because that's, I don't want to be cuddled by my brothers or coddled by my brothers, because, you know, I'm not really into the incest thing, of course, but also when I want to be cuddled, it's because I can't feel. I can't even feel myself. It's the whole point of someone cuddling me, and not my judgmental brothers, but someone cuddling me is so that I can actually feel my emotions. Because right now, I'm not even convinced that they're there. Although it's confusing, because I know I'm probably the most emotional person I've ever met. I feel more than anyone, but I don't have any context for appreciating all those feelings. I don't have any way to express them. I just go to work and I keep them inside. And I don't have any friends who would appreciate how emotional I am. He's emotional, alright. Do you think it was because he was spanked all the time? You think that? When you get spanked a lot, you had to, you know, I don't know, you get spanked, you feel angered toward the person spanking you, and you gotta keep it in. You think that was it? He was angry at Dad for spanking him? Could be, you know? Could be. Could be. I mean, that's why I don't spank my kids. I don't want them to hold all that anger. I mean, there is yelling. I do yell. But not like Dad. Not like he yelled, that's for sure. But so when you watched him grow up, because you're older than him, do you feel like you really understood what he went through? Oh, well, there's 10 years difference between us, so there's like a lot. There's a lot. That's hard to say, you know. I'm 20, he's 10, I'm 25, he's 15. It's like I'm out of the house when he starts to come onto his own, so I don't know. You know, one of the things I've noticed is, you know, psychotherapy culture and all. There's this kind of addiction to pathologizing things as addiction. There's the pathology of incessant pathology, you know? And so, you know, my brothers, they mean the best for me, but they get on video calls and they talk about me, and I'm thinking to myself, why would my brothers get on video calls and talk about my emotional state? Like, what's worse, my emotional state or the fact that they're on video calls talking about me and my emotions? It's like they're sitting there saying I don't have anything better to do than to feel all these emotions and press them down. But do they have anything better to do than just be on a video call talking about my emotions that I press down on them? And that's the thing about, you know, psychotherapy in general. It's a bunch of people just sitting in a room and coming up with all these designations about other human beings. I'm like, do you have anything better to do than sit around and label people and then try to get them to be how you want them to be according to some concept? You know, maybe we're at a point in civilization where really emotional people, the ones who feel the most, you know, maybe they're trying to tell us something. And when we medicate them and anesthetize them, it's like shutting up Cassandra. You know, the prophetess could see the future. And anybody who could see the future is someone who's feeling the present inexhaustibly. That's my thing. And I feel like if I could just have somebody cuddle me, then I could feel again. Because now I'm like feeling overload. But so much feeling that I just can't feel anymore. I just had to put it to the side. You know, and it just multiplies. I mean, I've got my brothers here judging the fuck out of me for feeling. And they're not even seeing how much they're feeling. You know? First of all, they have incredible care for me. But instead of just, you know, sitting inside that care and feeling the pain of another person's pain, of their younger and older brother's pain, they don't even want to feel that pain in themselves, that emotion. And so they go ahead and just start judging. Do you think it was Mom's fault? You think Mom was there for him? I don't think you can bring Mom into it, actually. Seriously. Considering what she was going through, I know that, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, because of what she was going through, do you feel like that affected him in the way that he feels and how he's, you know, he's not able to do anything with his life because he's always sitting around just feeling everything and then squishing all of his feelings to the side. I mean, imagine that. Imagine that. I can't imagine that, actually. I don't, when I think about his situation and I think about mine, I've got too much, I'm doing too much. Not in a bad sense, I'm not doing too much in a bad sense, but I am doing too much to wallow like he wallows. He's just in his, you know, he's in a black hole of feeling all the time. I don't think that's right. What you just said, I don't think that's correct. I think he's not in a black hole of feeling. He's in a black hole of not feeling. And that's why I'm a mess. Did you just hear that? What my younger brother just said? I can't even feel. It's like when I walk through this city and all the suffering of all the people around me is so intense, and that's what I pick up on. That's the only thing I sense. Like, that's my gift, is to sense other people suffering. But my gift is so pronounced and is so intense that I have no way of turning it down. So it just turns off. And then there's the additional judgment on that. The shame of feeling so much pain and suffering and not being able to live a productive or a practical life because you're feeling everybody suffering around you and you just can't do shit. You can't do shit. But what I'm trying to tell my two brothers and anybody who will listen is that the people who can feel the most suffering, who can feel the most pain around us, they're the ones with the most information. They're the ones who are seeing what we can't. But now I'm like a blind prophet, like Tiresias, like Oedipus. I cannot even feel because there is information overload. What I'm saying and what I'm requesting and why I'm getting ridiculed is that I need to be cuddled so that I can access all of the feeling and the emotion and hence the information that is everywhere. It stretches forward into the future and into the past. It's the hot mess of not being in touch with anything. And that's the problem. I'm not in touch with how I feel. I'm not even in touch with what I'm feeling. I'm in touch with the fact that I'm not feeling. And that fucks me up because I don't think I can be of any use to anybody. So it's like cuddling is a life raft for me. I think part of it was Catholicism, really. You know, how he just totally left. He totally left Catholicism and he just got into philosophy and all that. I think that probably fucked him up the most. Remember that time he ran away and hitchhiked across half the United States? And he was on fire then. Yeah, he was. He stayed with you at that time, didn't he? What was he like? What was he like? He was a hot mess then too, but different. He's a different kind of hot mess, actually. He was all over the place. It's like a fucking, what are those things called? Tasmanian devil. We almost had to kick him out. It's constantly feeling stuff. Constantly overloaded with emotions. Yelling, screaming. It's like he's tearing his hair out. Pissed. He was pissed. He was really, really pissed. All the time. He was angry. He's really alive. He's a different kind of miserable. He's always miserable. I don't know, man. Maybe we just need to stage an intervention or something. I don't know. What do you think? I think we're the only two people who can really help him. And that's the thing. I apparently need help. In my past, I was unexplosive volcano, and now I am just this little trickle. I'm not even a trickle. I'm just a frickin' drop. I'm not even a drop. Just a string. A tiny, tiny string of feeling. The only feeling that I have is the feeling that I'm not feeling anymore. So this whole phenomenon on Facebook and on social media about professional cuddlers, when I saw that, I was like, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe if someone cuddles me, I could start to feel again. That I could start to access my emotions again. And maybe it'll be like, the dam bursting, and it'll overflow at first, and I'll get all that life back. I'm not looking forward to that, but I don't want to live the rest of my life with this feeling that I'm not feeling, that I can't even be alive, because feeling an emotion is too much for me. And again, I am of course afraid. Wouldn't you be? What I've done, very few people have done. So many people, they kind of, check out with their binge TV series, or their alcohol, or their drugs, or their religion, or their meditation. Whatever the addiction is. Philandering. They find a way to constantly shuffle around their emotions. And so they constantly are feeling them, but they're always lost. And they would rather enjoy the intensity and the drama of being lost and confused and always on the go than to just stop feeling altogether. I find all that exhausting. My problem is I wasn't able to shuffle it. I wasn't able to shuffle all my feelings and emotions into all these activities and addictions. All this running. I just shut down. There was obviously no profession for me. There's no profession for me. There's no passion. Just walking around like the man without qualities. This time it's just like the man without feeling. Maybe we should just stop caring about it. What do you think? Sometimes you just have to let people go. Let them swim on their own, they'll tread water, and they're going to drown, or they're going to learn how to swim, Yeah, I thought about that. When you're the younger brother and I'm the older brother, so that means it's a little different for me. I'm in responsibility. You see somebody who's a mess and who's lost, and you gotta try to help. You have to. Otherwise, that sense of obligation will eat you. And you'll be kicking yourself like, what could I have done? No, but sometimes that's what enables the problem in the first place, you know? He always knows unconsciously at some level that you're gonna be there to help him out. Yeah, but I haven't helped him out. I haven't done anything for him. Actually, you know what he says? He says I judge the fuck out of him. Well, yeah, you do. You actually do judge the fuck out of him. Because I wanted him to make something out of his life, and he's not. Yeah, but what? I mean, see, that is harsh, bro. That is harsh. How do you know that he's not making something out of his life? Because people who sit around and just feel all the time and then don't feel, what are they giving to society? What are they doing for humanity? They're doing nothing. Well, yeah, that's true. You got a point. But what if he's right? What if he is right? What if he's right? That maybe he needs to be cuddled. And that when he's touched by people who are just giving him love, then maybe something will happen to him, you know? Maybe that's what he's needed all this time. Yeah. Well, that's the little brother speaking. That's the little brother speaking, you know? You just love him. You love him for, you know, he's your older brother, so you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. So we got him surrounded. That's how they talk. You know how that is. Family loves and family judges, and they feel like they're entitled to judge because they love. But obviously it's not the kind of love that I want. I just want to be cuddled. Not coddled. I want to be cuddled. Coddled and cuddled are different. Coddled and cuddled are two different things. Coddled is somebody just making life easy for me because I can't, you know, do it myself. Cuddled is somebody's coming up to me and holding me, you know, and loving on me. Because I don't love myself in that moment. There's something that's gone. That's something that's missing. And that other person is the person who's going to come up to me and cuddle me and get me feeling again, like turn me back on. Help me have emotions again because I'm overflowing with emotion. And I've shut them all off, and there's this just big vacuum inside of me, and all of the emotions are everywhere but in this square, and I'm in the square. It's a cube. It's a cell. And when I look around at the walls of the cell, I see all these things. I see all this information. I see what's going on in civilization. I see the problems. And it's like, I can't even begin to think about it. I mean, of course, I think about it in a very fundamental sense in that I can see that it's information. But I can't think about it in detail because then I'll start to feel. And then I'll start to see, and I'll see into the future, and I'll feel into the past, and I'll become omniscient. That I just need somebody to touch me so that I can be omniscient. For whatever reason, that infinite information is locked off from me because it's too much. And I need someone to hold me so I can hold it. It's like two people, two hearts, two souls. And it's obviously not my younger and older brother. You can't access that kind of infinite information when two people are judging the shit out of you. In the name of love, of course. Do you think he would agree to counseling? No. He would not. He would not agree to counseling. He's too smart for that. He would run circles around the counselor. What if... what if we listened to him? What? I don't know, I'm just feeling protective. What if we listen to him? What if he has something to say that is important? Yeah, but do you want your younger brother to go the rest of his life feeling as his kind of forte? Like all his, that's what he does, that's his expertise. That's not practical, man. You don't even, eventually people grow old and they die and they go to, nursing homes. And how do you pay for all that? Do you want to be the one? Do you want to be the one who pays for him in a nursing home because he spent his whole life just feeling? I hear what you're saying, but maybe once he starts to get in touch with his feelings again, he'll start... I don't know, what did he say? He said that something was waiting for him. And that if he just got cuddled, that he would be able to see something. Is that right? That's right? That's what he said. Yeah, he said something like that. I don't remember what he said, but it's something like that, yeah. See, that's the issue. I don't even know what is inside the emotions that I refuse to feel. I just know that these emotions are too much. I don't know what's inside the feelings that I refuse to feel. I just know that I'm a hot mess because I will not allow myself to feel. I will not allow myself to have emotion. And I know that as an emotional human being, as a feeling human being, to go the rest of my life without feeling anything or having any emotions, if I'm going to have an emotion, it's going to be about that. That's somehow wrong because that's actually my gift. This is the problem. Emotions and feelings have been pathologized to such an extent. But if you would trust me, and if you would cuddle with me, then I will start to access the information in those feelings, in those emotions. And I will start to execute my gift, and I will start to see what's going on in a way that you can't, or they can't, or hardly anybody can, except for prophets. Prophets. People who see outside of time and space. Because it's clear that I need cuddling for that information to come. Because it isn't too much for me. There's an overload. And therefore I don't feel it at all. Do you see what I mean? Then when you have too much of a gift, then your gift is too much for you. So you'd rather not feel the gift at all, and all the defenses of your soul put it. at arm's length. Then you're in this cell. And nobody can touch you. Because you don't want anybody to touch you. And yet you scream out in the middle of the night, in your dreams, somebody touch me. Somebody cuddle me, because my emotions and my feelings are not here. They're like my enemies. They come to me in my dreams like monsters. And I'm always running from what I feel. Because you know what it's like to be in this civilization, to even have brothers who care for you. Everybody wants you to do the practical thing and to make money and to have a career. So what happens is you just end up amputating all these emotions and these feelings. You're not allowed to feel anything. Because if you feel anything, you could just slide into the abyss. But what I'm trying to say to people is, the abyss is here. You are already in the abyss. And the wall of this abyss, the circular wall of this vortex, of this tornado, is the feeling and the emotion that you're not allowing yourself to have. You keep it in the form of a tornado, in the form of a swirling vortex that's so violent because of the addictions and the fundamentalisms and the distractions and the binging and all this. And there's this tornado here, and this tornado here, and this tornado here, and there are billions of tornadoes. And what I'm trying to say to you is that I am here not feeling, because I'm surrounded by billions of tornadoes of feeling. That is totally unconscious, destroying the landscape. That is too much information for me. So if you would just please message me on Facebook so that we could cuddle. And then maybe when I'm feeling this oxytocin, these hormones and these chemical surges and my biology comes alive, I'll be able to stop these tornadoes with just a touch. Each tornado is just a touch. But in order for you to cuddle me, you have to be someone special. You have to be the opposite of me. So in that cell, in that cube, is only feeling and emotion. And it comes right through your skin as you touch my skin and cuddle me. You can't be another tornado. You have to be someone who lives to cuddle, who lives to rejuvenate, to reignite someone who's lost the feeling. But someone who has such access to such information in the past, in the present, and the future. But this is virtually infinite. I can't feel. I don't have emotion. Because I'm actually on, and I can't handle the gift of my omniscience. So please come and cuddle me now.